So after this, I'm either gonna strike or throw. Okay.
Okay.
But I want you to just block and then hit tech just after my attack lands on your block. Okay?
Okay. Got it. Yes.
Oh, oops. I don't know why I keep doing that. Did you tech?
Yes.
Did you see how nothing happened?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to throw you and do the same thing. You see how you teched? You did the same thing either way, but it covered both options. You didn't have to guess. Hey guys, my name is Chunks. I'm a high-ranked master player in Street Fighter 6, and I'm currently looking for people to coach. It's completely free, and you'll even get your very own custom controller that I made specifically for fighting games. So if you're interested, check out the description box below, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So what's up guys? Today we're going to be coaching our Cool. He's I believe a Plat Marisa player, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Sweet, and he sent me a couple clips, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these clips and maybe just talk about them briefly, and then we'll probably get into some games and then maybe talk more after the game. So going to be pretty short and sweet, and we'll see where this goes. So you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so can you see my screen, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so I got the video up. So I took a brief look at two clips, and I think I just want to focus on two for today because, there's 6 videos that you sent me, but I think that might be some information overload. So we're going to stick to 2, and the first one is against the Ken, and the second one is against JP. Those are the two I want to look at. Yeah. Because I think those are very common matchups that you'll see in ranked, so I think those are very important to learn about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. So basically, I think that there's a common theme between the two matchups that I think is a fundamental skill that you can work on, and then we'll get into specifics in how that applies. So when you're fighting Ken, what is your what are you thinking before the round starts? I guess is what I'm curious to hear from you.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is I try to just think about initially when I'm starting a match, I try to think about whether or not whether I'm the aggressor or the defender in that match.
Okay.
And then just trying to think about okay, given that especially with Ken, how do I keep him from getting me into the corner? Because I think a really common theme that I found with, especially with Ken matchups, is given his super high corner carry, I just end up almost always end up in the corner and just getting destroyed by Jinrai. So as long as I can just figure out a way to ensure that I'm more or less keeping him at mid screen and hopefully slowly pushing him into a corner, then pretty happy with that. And then I think also the other big thing with Ken, and especially Ken and Ryu, is I'm just trying to mentally prepare myself for jump-ins. I struggle a lot with anti-airs, especially with Marisa, and I mean, Ken's just Shotos, but definitely Ken and Ryu, a lot of people spam jump-ins online. So, yeah. So I think those are the two primary things I'm just kind of keeping in mind.
Okay, so would you say you think you're the aggressor or the defender in this matchup? I guess I heard you think about that, but I wasn't sure what your answer was.
Yeah, probably the defender in this matchup.
Okay, I think that I'm no Marisa expert, but I believe that in this specific matchup, I don't think either one of you is the aggressor or either one of you is the defender, in my opinion. I actually think it's better for you to look at it as you're both pretty neutral in that area. Either can be aggressive, either can be defensive. So it's kind of just a straight up fight. I think that maybe that lens of looking at it you're trying to get him off you maybe makes you play a little frantic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and I guess that's one of the tips that I would give you, and kind of the general theme after like watching these two clips is like, um, I think playing a little slower and like really thinking about when to like make a move will help you. So like, we can just take a look at the clip, and I'll kind of explain to you what I mean in that context. You know what I'm saying? Let me turn this down a little bit. So the round starts, and he immediately starts with Dragon Lash. So let me go back real quick. So like, I think this is. I mean, obviously you win this exchange, right? What is this move called? I always forget what it's called.
Gladius.
Gladius, yeah. So you Gladius immediately, right? This isn't a reaction, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
Yeah, so this is actually the second match.
Oh,
in
the
this
second
series
match.
of matches. So therefore, like, I know that like he started almost every single like round with Dragon Lash. So
Okay.
therefore, like, I'm pretty confident that he's gonna go for Dragon Lash. And like I've labbed like a number of responses to Dragon Lash, and I found that like at the very least, like charge Gladius basically just like blast through him, takes a chunk of damage out, and like also puts me in a situation where like I can dash up for Oki.
Yeah. So I think that this is a good play if you have a hard read on him. Would you say you had a hard read on him?
Yeah.
So I like that play. The only thing is, I think throughout the course of this game, you do use Gladius a lot in neutral to like. I think when you think he's gonna throw Dragon Lash, is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. So I noticed like a lot of like I don't want to say random, but like somewhat random Gladius in neutral because you're like unsure. But like over the course of the game, it's very hard to predict when a Ken is gonna do Dragon Lash. Right? They could,
Yeah.
if they're just doing it randomly, it's basically impossible to like. It's impossible to react to the Gladius, and like, it's probably not a good idea to just like throw it out in neutral to like catch it as a read. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think that this in concept is like a good idea to mix in when you know like 100% sure they do it at this time every time. But I don't think it's like a solution that is good long term. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so like I like the read that he does it at the beginning of every round. So I think this one's fine. But throughout the course of the game, I think we need to find a more safe option, I would say. A lower risk option to deal with Ken Dragon Lash.
Absolutely.
So we'll go through that. I think I'm pretty good at dealing with Ken Dragon Lash, just because I've fought a million Kens. So I can definitely help you out with that. So we'll boot up the game later and kind of like go through that, or maybe we could go through it now. I'm trying to think if it's a good time. Yeah, let's go ahead and. Well, first let's just watch real quick a little bit just to see like it in action, just for people to see. So that was good too. You caught his drive impact, but again, that's like kind of a read, I guess. See, there's another Gladius, but like you're trying to catch a Dragon Lash, but he didn't do Dragon Lash, right? Maybe, or maybe you're trying to catch a drive impact or something. It's just like a good cover all. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that so I know like one of the core weaknesses of my neutral is the fact that like so up through like silver, I basically like leaned really hard on charge Gladius to carry me, specifically because like it just beats a lot of options, right?
Yeah.
It tears through armor, like destroys a lot of things, right? And like up until like up through like silver, like people generally aren't like really reacting to it in intelligent ways, right? So
Yeah.
like especially like people like at those ranks end up like spamming DI, right? And so
Uh-huh.
therefore like I've kind of been conditioned to like just whatever I see somebody who is like actively spamming DI, right? Like I use it more often, right? But
Uh-huh.
at this range, like I understand that it leaves me really like it leaves me really vulnerable to like just like a jump in this
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. So I think that like it's good that you realize that it's a strong option and like you can use it to kind of climb, especially against people who spam DI and whatnot. But I think in order for you to climb even higher, we're gonna have to learn to use lower risk options to deal with things.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it will be harder at first, but I think over the course of time, like if you continue to use Gladius in this way, you'll be kind of stuck here. But if you learn to use it less and to use more of the options available to you, that will be helpful for you to climb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You need to just take it, and you need to eat the mix. You know what I'm saying? And then be good at dealing with what comes after. But if you have a hard, like if they're literally doing it so much, then like after you've taken 1 or 2, then you can Gladius. You see what I'm saying? Or Drive Impact or some hard read. But you can't bank on always knowing when he's going to do it. You need to get information first.
Yes.
So, like, if he's, like, done it a lot in a specific time and you've blocked it twice, then you can read it on the third one. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then that leaves us with, what do we do the 2 times we block it? You know, he kind of gets the advantage, right?
Yes.
But I will tell you from experience, when I fight Kens, I just take the Dragon Lash so much. Like, if they want to do this in neutral, I'll just take it. Or if I'm ready, a lower commitment option is just to press a button like something quick. I would say let's default to just blocking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose if they're following up with, like, so I mean, I know that generally Kens really like to follow up with a throw after, like, heavy Jinrai, so, I mean, I guess that's only, like, 10%, so it's not, like, too bad if you, like, eat it, right?
Yeah, taking the throw is good, but do you know what delay teching is?
Yes. So, I mean, I guess I wait and then I, like, throw tech at, like, not immediately on hit, but throw tech, like, kind of as it's hitting. Is that correct?
It's slightly after hits. So have you implemented this in your game yet?
I have not implemented throw techs now.
Okay, I'm about to teach you a very strong defensive option called delay teching or fuzzy teching. And we can practice it right now. And this should help you a lot in your games. So, like, let's say, I mean, not all Kens do this, but a lot of Kens do this. Even at my level, they do this. They do this. Oh, sorry. They do this, and then they're plus, right? +2.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they can either hit you with a button after, or they can throw you, right? You kind of have to guess, right?
Yeah.
So there's actually a way where you don't have to guess. You can cover both strike and throw, doing one thing and one thing only.
Okay.
It's an option select. Do you know what an option select is in fighting games?
I do not know.
Okay, so what an option select means in fighting games is you do one thing and it covers multiple options. So like you input one thing and depending on what the opponent does, it picks the right thing for you. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm gonna teach you this after you take your notes.
Yes.
So after this, I'm either gonna strike or throw. Okay.
Okay.
But I want you to just block and then hit tech just after my attack lands on your block. Okay?
Okay. Got it. Yes.
Oops, I don't know why I keep doing that. Did you tech?
Yes.
Did you see how nothing happened?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to throw you and do the same thing. You see how you teched? You did the same thing either way, but it covered both options. You didn't have to guess.
So is that because if you hit me with a jab because, like, the block stun causes the tech not to come out?
Yes. So the way it works is you can tech within a, like, I don't even know what it is. It's like 9 or 10 frames, right? But your block is frame 1. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if I jab you, you block on the first frame. But then if I throw you, it comes later, and you blocked, and then you teched after. So you hit the frame window for the tech. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So basically you do one thing, but it covers both options. You don't have to guess.
Wow. Okay, that's enormously useful.
Yeah, it is enormously useful. It is. I use that in my games. You can honestly, it is counterable, but only very strong players will counter you doing that. Probably nobody in Plat will counter you doing that. I won't lie. So, yeah, we can just do it a few more times if you want to try it.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Okay, got it.
So you want to, you have a lot of frames to delay it, so press the tech a little more delayed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
A little more delayed. You're teching a little too early.
Okay.
There you go. Nice. See, you don't have to guess at all. Yeah, so you got it down already.
Yeah. Okay. That. Wow. Okay. That's. Wow. Okay. That's.
And that applies after they're plus in any situation. So, like, if I do Jinrai or whatever, and I'm plus on top of you or something like that.
Yes.
But the thing is, you have to know the timing of when the attack's going to come. Because basically you want to block and then tech right after the attack would hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you do the same, like something similar for jumps?
Yes, you can. You can do... that's very smart of you, actually. You can do delay jumps, and you can do delay buttons as well. And those are both very strong options. That's actually something that I'm working on now at my level, is I tend to delay tech a lot. But very good players, they have better defense, and they mix in a multitude of delay options. So delay buttons, delay jumps, delay everything, really. You see what I'm saying?
I see. Okay. Yeah, that's really useful because I know that one of the things I struggle with is the Geef matchup, especially because like a lot of Geefs will just do like the SPD mix up.
Yeah.
And like in that case, like the question is like when to throw, when to not, especially given that like a lot of Geefs like lights are like plus.
Yeah. So but the thing about Geef is you can't tech his command throw, right?
Okay.
That's why he's scary.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to commit to the option,
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, I think implementing that in games where people throw a lot, like basically anytime you think they're going to throw you, you should never just pure tech. You should always delay tech if you think they're going to throw you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like this isn't so scary, right? This isn't so scary if you know how to do that, right? Like,
yeah,
you block it and like you don't care. You're like, okay, this guy either goes for strike or throw after. Like he doesn't do anything. Like really good players, they might do this. If somebody does this to you, they're pretty good. Oh, sorry. Wait. I don't even know if this works in this situation actually. Oh, you didn't do it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oops.
So
I
no, I know what you're trying to do, right? So essentially like shimmy and then delay.
Yeah. So do the delay tech real quick. I just want to see if I can hit it. Yeah, I didn't do a fast enough attack, but you get the idea, right? I'll do it one more time.
Absolutely. And so what if somebody is like, will delay tech lose to essentially neutral jump?
Yes, it will. That is how people counter it as well. So if you want to delay tech, they'll neutral jump and then hit you on the way down.
Yeah. Okay, so neutral jumps. That is neutral jump. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that real quick. I'll show you.
Yeah, let's try it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm so bad at Ken, bro.
Oh no, it's all good.
Yeah,
man.
like that. See, and then you get a full combo. But like people in Plat really aren't thinking that far, so you can kind of delay tech on autopilot until somebody counters you, and then once they counter you, guys start thinking about other options. But this has added a whole new layer. Basically, like all strong players, their entire defense is all OSs. They're never hard committing to one option. They're always covering at least 2 or maybe even 3 things on defense.
Okay. You have just opened a whole new treasure trove.
Yes.
So basically, find all option selects.
Yeah, you can think about where to apply them, but it is very difficult to apply in the heat of the moment. It's going to take a lot of practice. Even if you're only going for delay teching, it's very hard. Don't be like worried if you mess it up a lot. When I was first learning to delay tech, I was just getting hit left and right. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to like really know the timing. It's a very timing focused thing.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe you'll have better experience than me, but that is something good to think about, and it makes offense less scary if you can cover multiple options. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we can talk about Jinrai a little bit too.
Yes.
You said he was doing that. Ken specifically was doing this into Jinrai.
Yeah. So he was a little more random than that, but Ken's will historically like basically the usual setup is like I'm in the corner and then just like they'll spam like Jinrai mix-ups.
I see. So I would say, do you know how to like deal with Jinrai mix-ups at all?
So I know that like there. So I know that depending on the strength of the Jinrai, there may or may not be gaps, and I know that Ken says different things depending upon what Jinrai he's throwing out.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that you should not give a shit about any of that. It's not helpful at all. Somebody also told me that, like, pay attention to the sound that they make, and then you can react to the right decision. It's bullshit. That's not real. Or if it is, it's very difficult, and I don't think you need to do that. It's way more simple than that, I would say. So basically, Jinrai is like, basically most of the time they're doing this one, right?
Yes.
So if they're doing that one a lot, you just block it, and then you're plus. You just block the whole thing, and then you're plus. And then you can take your turn back with an attack.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, you just wait till this comes out, and then it's your turn. You see what I'm saying? But you have to, like, I would say you never, like, do anything. You never, like, hit anything after the first Jinrai. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
For the most part. You have to, like, wait for the second hit.
Got it. So plus on the second block.
Yeah,
and
on
is
the second
that
block.
okay? And so that's just for the low.
Yeah, there's really only two options he has, I think. It's either the low or the high, or, like, stop after the first one. But after the first one, I think he's negative, right? Yeah, he's negative 11 after the first one, so, like... The thing is, like, it gets a little more nuanced than that, but, like, see how, like, he can't really do anything, like, after the first one for forever, right?
Yes.
So, like, you could delay mash here. Yeah, see? You're out. If I try to go for a throw or something. If they're stopping after the first one, you can just hit them after the first one. But most people aren't going to do that. Honestly, nobody ever does that, I would say. Like, 99% of Kens, they always either go for the low, or they go for the... they go for the high. This one's just a combo ender, so they only do that on hit. And it's negative, so...
yeah. That's true. And what about with the overhead, how fast? So can you try doing the overhead right quick?
Yeah.
Okay, -3, and that's like what, 20 frames to start up with the second hit?
Yeah, so I'm curious, do you try to guess whether they're going to go low or high?
Honestly, I'm generally dead. I mean, they, like, honestly, they almost always do the low.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the only situations in which they'll end up doing, like, the highs is, like, you'll find the one Ken out of 100 in Plat who's, like, doing Jinrai loops.
What are Jinrai loops?
So you can, basically, you can juggle, with Jinrai.
What do you mean
Like,
by juggle?
So basically, like, you can, so if you have somebody in the corner, right, you can basically throw out, like, multiple, like, Jinrai hits, get them into a juggle state, and then essentially follow up with a short U.
Oh, okay, and then do it again on their wake up, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, but no matter what, they're just looping the same mix, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
So I would say, literally, to cover 90% of options people in Plat are going to do, you don't have to guess whether they go low or high. You can just block low and then high, because the high hits later. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, like, after the first one, you don't have to guess if I'm going to go low or high. Block low on the low timing, and then block high on the high timing. You just have to switch your block, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So, essentially, block low, then high.
Yeah, it's basically an OS as well. Like, you don't have to guess whether they're going to go low or high. You just block low, high, and then you're plus after that.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's try it.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a timing thing, but you'll be able to get it.
Yeah. That's okay. That's really strong.
Yeah, and then you just hit me afterwards. Or, like, you can do anything, and whatever you do, he's not going to be able to hit you before it's just minus. But it does take a little bit of labbing. You just have to get the feel for it, you know? We can do it a few more times if you want.
Yeah, let's try it.
Honestly, I feel like you basically just hold down back, and then when you, like, realize that it didn't come out fast, you just switch to high. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try to think about it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Yeah, see? Yeah, you got it. So you were able to switch your blocking time.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, then you don't have to be afraid of Ken's mix. It's so basic. Like, that literally will probably cover 95% of Plat Ken mix. Like, you block... It basically you basically just think about, like, do they go for the throw mix after Dragon Lash, or do they go for Jinrai mix after Dragon Lash? And then, like, you can, like, think about what they do. You see what I'm saying? It's just like whatever habit they go for, you know?
Yes.
All right, I can also try to, like... Yeah, so, like, if they're, like, doing this into immediate mix, you know the delay tech to deal with that.
Yes.
But if they're... Wait, honestly, it doesn't matter, actually, because you can just delay tech the Jinrai mix. Like, right? Like, if I go for this, you're delay teching there.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you also do the up-down after that. You're basically mixing in both concepts. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You delay tech the Jinrai part, and then you do the high-low. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, see, you threw me when I went for Jinrai.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. Oh, sorry. Let me do it again. Yeah, and then when I went for the overhead, you were delay teching, so I got punish counter thrown. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're option one.
Yes.
So, like, delay
see.
teching will even counter the overhead because you'll just throw them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's really, really strong.
Yeah. So I think that, like, because your defense, you were kind of didn't understand, like, OSs on defense and stuff like that, it made you play more frantic and neutral because you were more afraid of their offense.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
since now you understand defense, I think after you work on your defense for a while, you'll be less frantic and neutral because you're going to be like, I don't care if he fucking does random Dragon Lash. I know how to deal with this. I've dealt with this 5,000 times before. So I can play more smart and neutral, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I would say right now, your next step probably is improving your defense because it's going to be hard to implement this game. It's like chaotic. There's like 10,000 moves. It's going to be hard to work on your defense, and you're probably going to get your ass beat a little bit, like trying new stuff because this is a whole new concept for you. But I think that's honestly your next step is improve your defense with like different OSs and stuff like that, and knowing the timings of people's attacks and when best to delay tech and stuff like that or delay mash. And then after that, once you get comfortable dealing with people's bullshit, then you can go back to focusing on neutral. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yes.
But I don't think you should try to focus on both at the same time. I would say focus on
Yeah.
defense, then focus on neutral.
Got it. So if, while we're talking about defense, right? So there are kind of like two more things that I'd quickly like to cover. So
Yeah.
first is like anti-airs, and two is essentially just like kind of you mentioned that you wanted to talk about the JP. So it's in there like dealing with zoning and getting through zoning.
Yeah. We're definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But which one do you want to talk about first, I guess?
Or
we can talk about anti-airs, actually. Let's go with anti-airs.
Yeah,
So what's your go-to anti-air?
So, I mean, historically, it's the Crouching Fierce, but I've been trying to mix in, like, basically air-to-air light kick.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, especially because, like, Crouching Fierce is, like, kind of terrible.
Can I see all your crouching normals?
Yeah, so basically jab, medium punch, fierce, kicks.
Can you do your anti-air ones? The whatever the upward punch was. Yeah, that one. What's that one?
It's Crouching Fierce.
Okay. Is there another crouching move that hits like that? I'm trying to think of the...
No, this is the only one.
Okay.
So this is all. So as far as anti-airs, like basically it's Crouching Fierce. It's essentially jump with a light.
Yeah.
And then it's essentially like you can do. So try jump in.
Yeah.
So basically, you can do medium punch target combo. Medium punch target combo like works if you have to have a little bit of a read, especially because like it doesn't beat like a lot of like fast like mid-air jabs.
Yeah.
But so I oftentimes like end up going for the lights when jumping, and the Crouching Fierce just has like a 9-frame startup, so and then also it's like chargeable, so oftentimes if you hold the button a little too long, like even like a split second too long, it'll be like a 10 or 11 frame startup.
Because you can
Which,
hold it.
yes, and so it's honestly it's a rough anti-air. And the other thing on top of that, like, is it has a huge dead zone. So if you try to cross me up, right? So yeah, it does not hit cross-ups at all.
Yeah. I think I do have some advice for you here. So
Yeah.
I would say don't worry about the air-to-airs right now. I think you need to get good at dealing with cross-ups and using your Crouching Fierce. And I can explain how we're going to like deal with that.
Okay. Use Crouch Fierce and deal with cross-ups. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's actually very simple what you need to try to work on. It's like you just need to get better with Crouch Fierce. There's no way around it. Like you need to be good at like reacting and hitting them. I can give you some tips on how that will be easier. But one thing about Marisa is she's just weak to cross-ups. Like
Yes.
she's very weak to cross-ups. Like if I like jump here, you can't really do anything unless you're like a legend and you're gonna air to air me. You know.
Yeah.
But that actually becomes basically not an issue later once your neutral gets better, because like this is like in the future, right? In the future, once your like neutral's better and you're good at like spacing like this and stuff like that, and people don't really like get up on you enough to like do this, you pretty much don't have to deal with cross-ups. Like the Marisas I fight, they're always at like a good range to where like I can't even like cross them up like that very often. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think if you are in a situation, this will become less of a problem later as you become a stronger player, but like if you are in a situation where somebody crosses you up, you just have to block the other way and eat the mix.
Yeah.
Which is like okay, because now you've learned a lot of defensive stuff that you can deal with the mix, you know. You don't have to be scared of the cross up because you can just block and then like get out, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think get better with Crouching Fierce and just block cross-ups and use your defense. That's what I would say you should default to.
Got it. And so, do you have any recommendations for like drills to work on just like in-air reactions?
I am very I don't know if this is the best advice. This is just the advice that I always give.
Yeah.
Like, I would just say you queue ranked and you think about it. You know what I'm saying? And you like focus on it. But I think you need to know what you're looking for. So I kind of want to talk about that. Like when you're fighting somebody, what are you looking for when to anti-air, I guess?
Just honestly, like the moment that they hit it, like that
they hit what?
I mean, when they like, so the moment when they actually do like a forward jump, right? I think that's like immediately like the time when I try to like hit this, right? I think the problem that I actually have with anti-airs is that I end up using like a lot of really high committal options, right? So for example, like charge.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can't anti-air if you're using high committal options in neutral, which is like kind of what we were talking about, is like being more patient in neutral. But the defense will help with that. Once your defense is stronger, you'll be able to like be okay with doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Be okay with like doing this type of thing, and then like being ready for anti-airs. You know. So I think honestly, what would be good for you, like just to practice, is like when you're playing ranked, like just literally don't throw anything out a lot. Like kind of just like do this, move back and forth, be ready for an anti-air, and work on your defense. And then once you kind of get a feel for how they like to play, then maybe you can go for a hard read or two, you know?
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Also, I think it's good to mix in like as a caveat to that, you can't be doing this the whole time, right? You can't just be sitting back waiting for anti-airs. So like I also didn't see you do a lot of this. Like drive rush and neutral.
Yeah.
I think that's super good because then they have to guess, right? Even if they block, you can do a throw or something. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, I would say as like a general like style to start trying to learn for you, try like being patient, waiting for anti-airs. If they do something stupid like that gets up on you, you can work on your defense, and then mix in, because you can't just be defensive all the time, mix in a drive rush to get in on them and practice your offense a little. You see what I'm saying?
Got it. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, like, slow-paced play with some, like, chocolate chips of offense and drive rush in there. You see?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that will help a lot. It's going to be hard at first because you're brand new to it, but I think it will definitely help your game overall.
I think that sounds good.
And the other thing I would say is, like, the number one thing that I look for when I'm anti-airing is not, like, when they jump or any of this. I look for when they leave the ground. When they leave the ground, I'm pressing the button instantly.
Yes.
And, like, that, once you train that to be autopilot, nobody can jump on you. Unless they do aerial mix, which I don't think plat players are really doing a lot of aerial mix.
No, they are not.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, obviously you're doing high committal options before, but if you just wait for when I leave the ground and then press it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also try not to hold it. I know it's hard, but
Yeah.
yeah, see, punch counter. I think you might maybe get a combo after that. I don't know. Yeah, see. If you're looking for it, when they leave the ground, you definitely land it. Yeah. But you have to also be doing nothing at the time, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just a timing thing. You just have to practice. Like,
Got it.
they leave the ground, and it's like, boom, you hit them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got it. It's just something you got to practice.
Yes, absolutely.